Lämpimästi tervetuloa seuraamaan Mirjam Helin laulukilpailun mestarikurssia. Meillä on ilo ja kunnia saada opettajaksi tänään yhdysvaltalainen soprano Dawn Upshaw, joka toimii myös kilpailun tuomaristossa. We are greatly honored and pleased to have Dawn Upshaw as a teacher today. Welcome, Dawn. Tänään kuulemme 4 laulajaa. Ensimmäisenä soprano Clarice Granado laulaa Gabriel Faurén Après un rêve. Toisena laulajana on Emma Mustaniemi ja hän tulkitsee Alban Bergin laulun Die Nachtigall. Hänen jälkeen vuorossa on baritoni Kevin Godínez, joka laulaa aarian Ai già vinta la causa Mozartin oopperasta Figaron häät. Ja viimeisenä koloratuurisoprano Marie Sofie Jacob laulaa aarian Glitter and Be Gay Leonard Bernsteinin oopperasta Candide. Pianistina tänään on Kirill Kozlovski. Please welcome Clarice Granado, Dawn Upshaw and Kirill Kozlovski.
Welcome all of you, by the way. I think I'm going to listen just down the steps here a little bit and begin as you like. And if you'd like to speak about the piece at all beforehand, great. Otherwise, we'll talk afterward, okay?
Thank you.
you so much. Thank you, Kirill. Beautiful. This is one of the very first songs I ever studied. And I don't know when you picked it up, but it's a great song for working on legato, and I think that's why a lot of teachers often assign it early on. It also happens to be very beautiful. And I have several things I'd love to work on a little bit, legato being maybe at the top of the list. I think we often are so concerned with our voices that we forget to allow not just vowels but consonants to kind of lead our way. And in that way, I always like to imagine I'm very text-driven, that I'm going to want to be so familiar with the text and so connected to it that every single sound I make with the vowels and the consonants is expressive. So I feel you're losing an opportunity, one, with expressive consonants. And don't worry, I realize when we speak about French diction, we don't want things popping out in the same way as with some other languages, but you can still make much more of, especially initial consonants, to help you actually find legato, those voiced consonants in particular. I feel that when you aren't connected to your breath constantly, that you're sort of placing pitches vertically, and then when you sing with length on any note and your vibrato enters, that often that vibrato is a release such of your breath that you lose pitch a little bit, that the pitch just drops slightly. Are you aware of that at all? Okay, and have you worked on that? Do you have exercises that you do to...
I do. It tends to get worse if I'm nervous.
Yes, I know. Me too. And if it helps, I'm nervous too. So we could be nervous together. Well, I have an exercise, actually. I think I'd like to just spend a little time with it. And you may already do this exercise, and I don't want to blast this microphone in your ears, so warning to the sound people. But it's with lip trills. And I use this as just very first warm-up is a lip trill warm-up to make sure that I'm getting connected to my breath. In my mind, I use the phrase riding my breath. And that's what I want to be doing all the time, is riding my breath, not beginning and starting my breath over and over again. Yeah. So first, let's just, and if you all want to join in, maybe, with some lip trilling, let's just do some simple lip trilling, like, so let's just do an octave. Great. So my exercise, we can have a voiced lip trill or an unvoiced lip trill. And no matter what, we still have to keep that airflow constant. It's that little bit of tension. The airflow has to be at a steady pace to make your lips vibrate like that. Try voiceless for a second. Yeah. So I don't know if you can sense that you have to have a steady amount of air for that to work at all. It'll just stop. So the exercise is going in and out of voiced lip trill. So I'll try to show you. It's in arpeggio, just. So you have to keep the lip trill going constantly. That means that your breath is flowing. You try that with me? Yes. Good. That's very good. That sensation of steady airflow, that should be with you constantly. So it's a great warm-up, and I just take that arpeggio, just going up and down like you just did, and all over my range. For now, would you just try to get connected to that by way of lip trilling the first few phrases with Kirill? Yeah. And don't worry about dynamics right now. I'd like for you to just really find an ease of breath flow. And if you need to stop and take a breath where you wouldn't normally, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, I need to hear you better than that. See, I'm standing right here, you know. So let's think forte. Let me see what happens if you think forte.
Yeah.
Okay? I think this is interesting because I suspect that as you're not always engaged with your breath, that you could use your breath much, much more than you do. Okay, let's try it. How'd that feel?
Good.
Yeah? Your pitch was better,
Cool.
actually, when I could hear you.
Yeah.
So really, let's add words. Let's add text, vowels and consonants. We will get to the meaning of the song and such, but I just was struck so much listening to you that I wanted to start here with breath. Yeah? So let's have you add text, but I want you to mush it all up as it comes out. Okay, so whatever not articulated. I would really like for you to get that sensation again of steady breath flow and just use the consonants and the vowels, even incorrectly, if in order to get that sensation through the entire line. Does that make sense? Yeah. So don't worry about exaggerating, don't worry about sounding ridiculous with your French, okay? I didn't hear the D. Yeah. D, do. It's okay. You're not going to, especially if you're going to keep the breath flow, you'll get to the vowel immediately, okay? Give me a good slur. That was terrific, that first phrase. Give me a good slur. Je rêve. Okay? Yeah, whatever you need to connect the breath from the beginning again. Yeah. I'm going to be really picky, because I can be right now. Dans un. You're coming off to give us a subtle S.
Yeah.
For this exercise, and even ultimately, you want it to just be this beautiful line of molasses. Okay. Good. Yes, and with sommeil too. Sommeil. Yeah? So I don't know if you heard it, but you're coming off on the S of sol.
Okay.
One more time, sorry to stop. So I will let you go this time. I hear a little difference now. I hear a little more connectivity, and the pitch is approaching a little higher tuning. All right, let's leave that aside for a second. Another aspect of pitch, and forgive me for you become the example, because I knew I would want to talk about this today. Your tuning is quite good, except for these moments when I feel you're not on your breath, and when you could bring more height into the sound. It happens for you most of the time when you're up at the top of the range of this song. We can sing pitches in tune in many different tunings, and it can still be in tune. You know, there are all of these. It's like having integrity for tuning. I think we learn to sing, and we assume that, oh, I can learn a melody, I can hear that melody, I can sing it. But tuning itself has to remain of great importance. We need to listen to how we tune. You know, a B flat in a minor, in a key, in G, is just going to play a different role harmonically than a B flat in G flat major or something. You know, I don't analyze all of my music at all. I'm not talking about analyzing, I'm talking about listening and really singing into the harmony and understanding when might that pitch be just more effective, a little bit higher. You know? There are various ways besides listening, because of course technically we're doing so many things all at once. But I want to ask you one way that I think can sometimes add brightness and height is a little bit of a smile. Yeah. And a smile works in the song too. Just so happens to be, even though you're speaking about something you've experienced and lost, the moment of remembrance is joyful. Yeah? So I wonder if, take yourself to that place. I hope you've got something very specific you're thinking about. Maybe someone specific. We can do this in songs. You know, I think it's harder in opera to make up our own stories. We're following the story. We're creating a character. But I find that it really helps to personalize all song repertoire, and I love getting into the poetry. So you may have already been doing this and personalizing it. So see if you can add some joy now, and listen to the ins and outs, major, minor, that you have with Kirill, and let that feed your connection to tuning. Okay? Let's go from Tu m'appelais. Maybe a bar or two, Kirill. Very nice. You can go further with that smile. Okay. You'll have a chance in a moment to do it again. Be sure to always find true you, even if something's low.
Okay.
Okay? I don't know if you are, tell me your thoughts on this lowest part of the song. Are you thinking head voice? Are you thinking in that way? Have you played with it?
I have played with it. I try to be careful not to do too heavy chest because I feel like the sound becomes too different.
Yeah. I don't actually care whether it's chest or head or whatever. I just want to feel like, I want to hear true you.
Okay.
I want to hear core you everywhere. You figure out how to get there. And I think that it's possible, the practice room is our playground, right? We can try all sorts of things. There are many, many, many options. So try different colors, try different routes to that color. Okay. But what are you saying? Let's start there. What are you saying right there?
So the heavens has parted their clouds for us. This splendor, I have to translate.
Yeah, that's okay.
And the vision of splendor that we see, of heavenly fire, I believe it is.
Yes. Splendor is what you're saying. So you could think even more word for word, moment to moment, even if you're still at this stage of not being as familiar enough with the French that you're thinking in French. You'll get there.
Yeah.
But do think, so when I say splendeur, you know immediately that is splendor and radiance. Yeah? So use your S. Use your splendor. Speak it first.
Splendor.
Yes. Speak it with love.
Splendor.
Loud.
Splendor.
Yes. So I would speak it over to splendor, splendor, and keep getting closer to the pitch and finding your voice, your singing voice, from that fervency of the way you've spoken it. That's a kind of playing I would do in the practice room. Let's go back, and from Tu m'appelais, that was beautiful. So, let's not worry at all about dynamics for now with the kind of work you're trying. So you're keeping that line, you're thinking about the image that brings you joy and gives you a little bit of a smile and hopefully heightens the pitch just a little bit. Okay? Same 2 bars? Yeah. stop you again. Beautiful. Splendeur. The accents on the second syllable.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we're hearing a little bit splendeur. You're kind of coming off of your voice.
Yeah.
So keep that phrase moving forward. Splendeur, splendeur, splendeur. You can keep it right in the same resonance.
Okay.
We hear splendeur beautifully, so just stick with it. And the pour m'enfuir. Give yourself a reason, expressive reason, to have that leap. You know, I feel this whole song is filled with all sorts of imagery, as it turns out.
Yeah.
It's, you know, this ethereal, ephemeral triplets, these ephemeral triplets at the end. I don't know, they seem like wispy little, they're kind of disappearing. This dream is disappearing. I always look for things like this in the setting of the text that can be an exciting guide to how you phrase.
Yeah.
So, you know, pour m'enfuir. Use that, that's pulling you away. Enjoy the interval.
Okay.
Let's go, if you wouldn't mind, going back to the same place. I think that's so beautiful, this now. And of course, you have the crescendo to the forte, you're not too loud. And the pitch is just getting right there, okay? Yeah, beautiful. So that was a fair amount I threw at you, and you really incorporated them in some way, all of that. So that's the kind of work I think you could do in the practice room, is to really activate your breath more. In my mind, I can hear a better preparation before each phrase as you begin. Use your breath, enjoy your breath.
I feel like that would be helpful if I'm nervous as well.
Yes.
So just kind of think about it.
Just release. To just release. Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Kirill. Oh, you came from over there. Hi. Good to see you. Very good to see you. Emma, would you like to say anything about the song beforehand? You want to just sing
first?
Absolutely.
Ja, moi kaikki, on tosiaan Emma.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And Kirill, thank you. What a great song, yeah?
It's amazing.
It is. And we can tell that you enjoy singing this.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of my first cravings in listening to you is for you to know that you don't have to show it to us, what you're feeling, but really let it just begin inside of you and just stick with it. Because there's so much interesting interaction between your part and the piano part. And just to give you all a sense, many times there are all these phrase markings that Berg, he's very specific, lots of detail in the score, and phrase markings and hairpins to help shape those phrases, but they're hardly ever at the same time, where one of them is peaking, the other is coming down, and they overlap. And so it's sometimes the challenge to put this together, to figure out how to allow each of you your ecstasy, Yeah. So I would love to get a sense that there is more of a tornado sort of happening musically between you.
Okay.
I sense that you're slowing things down a lot with your singing and with your own phrasing. So be sure not to always be slowing, retarding, but make sure you move ahead before, usually, before you do that. And how do you decide how to shape a piece? What's your method?
How to shape the piece? I usually go a lot with my feeling
Okay.
about the song and kind of like, what does all the words mean to me and what kind of images I have in mind.
Okay.
Of course, I also read the score, but then I sometimes do what I want.
Okay. I would say it's great, first of all, to find your own connection to the text. Let's start there. Tell me about that. What is it that you think this is about?
We talked a bit.
We did. We
Yes,
talked a bit
a bit.
at one of the feedback sessions.
Yes. But
And I noticed a
Yeah.
little difference. Thank you. Thank you for considering. I found parts of it a bit coy for me, and I feel like some of that was left, and that I felt more sincerity.
nice.
So that's great. Thank you.
I think it's about finding your sexuality, the song.
Yeah, I think kind of that, and I was thinking about it even more since
Yeah.
our conversation. It's like an awakening
Yeah,
for a young person, a young woman, as it happens in this. So the intimacy, it's and very simple form, ABA structure of the song. The poetry is ABA. He does repeat the first stanza in the original poem. And the poet, Theodore Storm. But you are the observer and not
Yep.
the person experiencing it. You are narrating, you are telling us, the reader, about it. Okay. So that changes things a little bit right away. As maybe I can imagine this, instead of being a romantic interest, let's just play with this idea, it doesn't have to be. One's own child, watching them grow, and imagining, well, she used to be so much trouble when she was little. That's the B section. Sie war doch sonst ein wildes Blut.
Yep.
But now she's walking around and she's actually thinking about bigger issues in life.
Yep.
Can we try that perspective?
Yes, of course.
I only thought of that last night. I've never sung it that way myself, but I thought just as something completely different than, that it becomes more like, wow, life is amazing, with what happens to all of us. Yeah. Okay. So hold that thought. Allow all of these pickups to be pickups.
Okay.
Das macht. You want to go to, instead of das macht, das macht, es hat die Nachtigall.
Yeah.
You're usually going to the longer notes in terms of stress of the sentence, of the phrase. I mean, and if you want to hold on to this while you're singing it, but I think you know it well enough that you just. So we've talked about, okay, last thing I want to throw at you
Come on.
is diction.
Yeah.
getting to this, again, to this idea, and I don't know if you were out here when I was speaking to Clarice.
Yeah.
Great. This idea that we all have our own true core sound. Everybody's is different, thank goodness, because that's the only way anybody's going to be interested at all in hearing you sing this, is if we get to that core you that nobody else has. And it needs to be true. It needs to be not something placed on your sound, but come from within. And my sense is that you are kind of coloring your vowels darker to express your idea of the song. So I want to get back to the pure vowels of these words. And in general, the to my ear is not bright enough. So we need to find core U sound. Yes, okay, so this is nothing you haven't maybe heard before, right? Could we just take those first two pitches of yours without Kirill and just no rhythm for a moment? I just want to find true U in there. So just those two words on the pitches. And yeah, really let it release. Right. Now you're not really going to go das macht, because that's not the style, right? Das macht. Okay. Can you, even if it feels like yuck, that's not true, would you brighten the a little bit? Macht. Yes. Yes. Macht. It's the X symbol in IPA, so it's going to be, instead of okay. Yeah. Es hat. Let's go through each note. I'm just going to, and I want you to find that vowel. Es hat. Yes. Okay. See if you can find with intensity, not pressing, but with intensely U sound, those brighter vowels. There are a lot of A's in there, aren't there? Die ganze Nacht gesungen. Die ganze Nacht gesungen. Okay, good. You have a tendency to pull just a little bit to the side, both with your lips and with your head. Nice. I think you're wanting to find a certain casualness and comfort, so that we'll be comfortable. We just want to hear you, okay, true you. So forget about that for a minute and keep it really direct, even if it feels unmusical for a moment. With Kirill from the top, bright vowels on your breath. Good. Where it slipped for me, die ganze Nacht. It's sounding a little Nacht. I'm not clear on that vowel. I'm not clear on that vowel. If we, sometimes I actually dissect sounds and vowels to an irritating level in the practice room. Really pay attention to how your voice is ringing on every single vowel. That's when people say they want more pure vowel and want you to sing on the pure vowel, that's what they mean. So it takes practice sometimes in the practice room, every single vowel. It sounds like the most boring kind of work, but it really helps teach you where you are. Where is that me? Oh no, that wasn't really well supported or beautiful or whatever. So that's not true you. So I want to be able to understand every word in your core sound with those vowels. Let's go again from the top. That's beautiful. Yes. And hot. Sing hot. Sing every single. Free. All right. I'm going to drop a name now because I learned such a great lesson from him. And that's James Levine, who I was working on, what is like the hardest thing? Is it C minor mass that has that just horribly difficult soprano aria?
Yeah. Super high.
Yes. I was having so much trouble. And he was so generous, taking time with me to try to help me. And he had me do an exercise in a rehearsal where he said, just add vibrato to every single syllable. And he said, you won't leave it like that, because that's not really Mozart, stylistically. But you'll get connected. We can't have a healthy vibrato unless we're really connected to our breath. And it was just the most wonderful way for me to find that in the practice room. Then from that point on, if I had difficulty or something felt like it was pulling or something felt like it was caught, I would add vibrato to help me find. I knew I was singing healthily then, and I was listening for the right vowel to ring. I know. So would you, even though these notes are short, would you add a little vibrato now to each one of them? Each syllable, I mean, yeah? Okay. Go through the whole song that way, but you're having to really think. Yes. Which tells me that you could be more familiar with the language. Because you're slowing it down so much to make sure you are on the right. So I'm missing, again, some of those true vowels. I'm going to leave that idea with you for the practice room. And just keep it back there, keep it in the practice room. Because I think that you'll learn a lot about when you're on your breath and when you're not. Right. Let's go from the top. And really, don't forget about everything I've said, but let the song roll. Listen to Kirill so that you are playing together, rolling together, so to speak, and release, but keep this idea of singing on your breath constantly. Okay. You can do better than that. I'm gonna die ganze. You're dropping syllables to try to be expressive.
Oh yes. True.
Okay. So drop expressivity for a bit in here. I just want to get you really singing every vowel.
Like in a really boring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't be artistic and expressive the way you really want to be and be successful until you get these other things in good places.
Okay.
All right? I promise you that. So watch out for that CH when it's
Yeah, I do.
this, yeah. All right, from the top again. I think I'm not going to say anything. You just do this exercise of trying to really sing pure vowels and sing on your breath.
Okay.
Just see how it goes. Yes, but yes. Yes! I understood that much better. And it was beautiful. So I just keep going in that direction. Yeah, and finding, really, I think now, after these 20, 25 minutes, your main job of all the different things and the percentages of time you give them in the practice room, give the most time to finding your pure vowels in a healthy place. I think, good half of your time, yeah? You have so much to say, we know that. There's a real voice in there, so you do not have to attach things onto it. You just have to pull that real voice out. Keep pulling it out.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Right. Yes. She didn't come back this way, did she? Come on out, Kevin. How are you? Good. So, for those of you who were here yesterday, we also heard this aria yesterday. But all music lives very differently from one human being to another. So today will be a completely different story. And do you want to say anything? You want to just get right into it? I think they know the aria. So. Yeah, but anything you want to add? Yeah, please.
Well, this is the Count's aria from Le Nozze di Figaro. The Count, well, you're gonna see what it's gonna be about. And yeah, pretty much, just that. I'm very glad to be here. Hai già vinto la causa, cosa sento? In quel laccio io
Adeo. Perfidi, io voglio di tal modo punirvi. A piacer mio la sentenza sarà. Ma se pagasse la vecchia pretendente, pagarla in qual maniera? E poi Antonio, che a un incognito Figaro ricusa di dare una nipote in matrimonio. Coltivando l'orgoglio di questo mentecatto, tutto ciò da un raggiro, il colpo è fatto. Vedrò mentr'io sospiro, felice un servo mio. È un ben che invan desio, e il posseder dovrà. Vedrò per mondo amore, unito a un vile oggetto, in me restò un affetto che per me poi non ha, che per me poi non ha. Vedrò mentre io sospiro, felice un servo mio. Vedrò che in ben ch'io desio e possedere dovrà. Vedrò per mando amore, unito un vile oggetto, che in me restò un affetto che per me poi non ha, che per me poi non ha. Vedrò, 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 vedrò. A non lasciarti in pace, non vo questo contento. Tu non nascesti audace, tu non nascesti audace per dare a me tormento, e forse ancora per ridere di mia infelicità. Già la speranza sola delle vendette mie quest'anima consola, e giubilar mi fa, e giubilar mi fa. Anche lasciarti in pace non vo questo contento. Tu non nascesti audace per dare a me tormento, e forse ancor per ridere di mia infelicità. Già la speranza sola delle vendette mie quest'anima consola, e giubilar mi fa, e giubilar mi fa, e
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you very much. How long have you been singing this?
Quite some time already. Probably 5 years.
Okay. Have you done a production
I have
yet?
done the role, yeah.
More than once?
No, just
One
once.
production?
Yeah, one production.
Okay, great, great. You'll be doing many, many more, I'm sure. Okay. You know, we were talking yesterday during Luca's class just about how fabulous this accompanied recitativo is. I know that I'm certainly jealous of it. I mean, there are a couple roles that I've done that have had really interesting accompanied recitatives, because Mozart, like, is so skilled at sharing so many different emotions and so much of the storytelling, and tells us so much about the character through these recitatives. So tell us, what is it that you would most like to convey about what happens to you in the beginning of the piece?
I think he is very insecure.
Yes, great. Love that. Because I wonder if we'll work some on that, because I think that we could see much more of your more vulnerable side. It comes off as extremely sure-footed and solid and angry.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to see more fear, insecurity, vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
I have been reminded, unfortunately, you know, I'm an American who's so upset about what's going on in my country. Did you ever see Peter Sellers' production of this opera? Takes place in Trump Tower, and you essentially are Donald Trump.
Oh my gosh.
And just this, you know, incredible lashing out for no reason, and yet, you know, I just would love to see the really sad side of you.
Okay.
You know, the really pitiful kind of. Now, we can't play pitiful, can we? But where does that come from? It comes from insecurity, right? And ego,
Mm-hmm.
which, of course, the Count has
Yep.
plenty of. But what if you really, I'm not, or maybe you are thinking this, but I want to bring it out more. I don't want to assume you're not. Really scared, like at the beginning. Like, this is, whoa. You know, another fantastic thing is the very first line, you take on the same pitches that you've heard Susanna say. So imagine, I don't know if you liked the way the Susanna did it in the production you did, but really I think you have to imagine how she says it. I think as you repeat those words, ai già vinta la causa, that you're not yet at the point of real anger.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're just like running that through your mind. Wait a minute, cosa sento? You're even there, moving a little closer,
Mm-hmm.
and to the actual anger, which I think Lucas said the same thing. We don't hear in the orchestra until boom, 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 yeah, before perfidy.
Right.
So, let's have you, I don't know, I wonder, let's just for today, for the sake of today, feel free to take up as much space as you
Okay,
want,
good.
okay, for the things that were physically, yeah. Because I sort of feel, you know, this, either you're being fed into something in the recitative, or you lead it. But there are all these changes everywhere. The key goes all over the place. So many different changes that are all about what's happening in your head. And they're all very different. So you have to run the gamut in this opening recitative of so many different feelings. And not all of them, I think, would call for such loud singing, for instance. So my impression, hearing you do this for the first time, is that it was all like this. It was all kind of in my face a little bit. And I understand that a lot of it might get there, but I would be so much more curious if you took me on this journey of what's happening in your head. Okay? And to do that, I've talked about a shift in, a variation in dynamics. So dynamics are one tool you have. Another tool you have, to a certain extent, is speed of delivery of text, depending on whether you're singing right with the orchestra or not. Another tool you have is body energy and how you move. I don't know, it could be anything, but somebody who's like scared to death and insecure doesn't move the same way as when they're angry and wanting to prove something, So that's another tool that you have, right? So all of these things I think could use more variety and color, obviously. So you sing with tremendous amount of color, but I just think that you could create a much greater range, depending on where you are psychologically in the moment. No? Okay, last thing I'm going to talk about, and then we'll get back to the music. And we talked about this a little bit in your in the feedback session. I find that you're so busy with your eyes, and I feel like it comes across as you wanting to convey connection to what you're doing. But for me, it gets too scattered. I want more focus for just a little longer. Wherever you're thinking, whoever you're thinking about, I would like for you to see them and keep them in one place. You don't need to prove anything to us, all right? You don't need to show anything, you just I need to see. And if your eyes are moving around a lot, then I can't follow you. I can't know what's in your head. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go from the top. Just play with some things.
Hai già vinta causa.
And don't drop anything. Hai già vinta la. I lost that word altogether. Okay, so make sure you are repeating the words that somebody just said. Every single one of them is important, even the article. Okay. Did she just say, hai già vinta la causa? So we need, if it rushes out, I don't get that opportunity to see you thinking.
Okay.
Hai già vinta la causa. Cosa sento? In qual laccio io cadea? Pensi, io voglio.
That already something's brewing in there. You might end up keeping the rhythm, even if you're doing things slower, making sure that you keep the rhythm of the language there. So when Mozart writes in recitativo, he's very specific, even though we know we can play around a bit with tempo, the relationships of the syllables remains the same. And it's also a fantastic guide because it's brilliant, you know, so and it helps us who are. Do you speak Italian?
I do.
Okay, so you're there on that part already. So just be true to the proportions. All right. Would you try in this time, starting at the top again, to really use the orchestra as your movement initiative? So, cosa sento? Qua lascio io cadere. Pum, 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 perfidi. If you're still and the orchestra goes bum, 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 perfidi, then I don't believe it, that's you. But that is you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So try to initiate the orchestra's burst, because that is your change. That's your first big shift. Okay. Yeah.
Hai già vinta la causa, cosa sento? In qual laccio io cadea? Perfidi, io voglio di tal modo punirvi. A piacer mio la sentenza sarà. Ma se pagasse.
Would you use that music as moving music, a very different kind of movement? I think you're in the habit of staying still during the orchestral shifts. I just want you to use them more to feed you.
Okay.
So whatever you think that is, it sounds like thinking music to me. You know, so that you're actually moving when you're not singing.
Okay.
No? Good. Anywhere right before then?
Ma se pagasse la vecchia pretendente, pagarla in qual maniera? E poi di Antonio, che a un incognito figlio ricusa di dare una nipote in matrimonio.
Great. It's good. No, it's great. It's good. It's just play. Okay. I mean, for you too, don't try to incorporate the exercise of play and see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. These are just my ideas. Yeah. So, have you ever thought about I call it the list guide, and it's like, you know, there are a lot of songs, but especially in opera, in points of action, where we see the character thinking because the character's sort of listing things or listing people. And when you have a list, we need to know how you feel differently about each item on the list. Does that make sense? So you're speaking about lots of different people. Each time, we need to understand how that person's related by the way you speak of them. You feel differently about them. Antonio, you know, but he's going to help you anyway. So each time you think about each one of them, really be aware that this is a new relationship that you have with somebody. Susanna beats them all. Yeah. Right. So okay, that sort of thing. Let's go from the same place. And then we're gonna go to the aria and talk about something completely different. But I just wanted to talk about this aspect of the recitative. Okay.
Ma se pagasse la vecchia pretendente, pagarla in qual maniera? E poi di Antonio, che a un incognito Figaro ricusa di dare la nipote in matrimonio. Coltivando l'orgoglio di questo mentecatto, tutto giova un ragino, il colpo è fatto. Vedrò mentre io sospiro, felice un servo mio. Non ben che in van desio ei posseder dovrà, vedrò per manto amore unito un vile oggetto.
Just looking back on the rest of it, how is that feeling, that idea? I felt like things were a little clearer. I think you can go further with all of that when you're working in the practice room, preparing for the next production, all of that. And of course, staging helps tremendously. Yes. Okay. All right. Still, even in the aria, the key is kind of going all around. And that's, I think you're still not settled, even though the aria itself has begun. That's the way that we see how unsettled and insecure you are, in a sense. I mean, it's brilliant that it's not a typical aria that stays in one key and then has a B section, you know, and so you just kind of get more and more confused and then angry and then the final allegro. When there are these surprises, such as posseder dovrà, vedrò per man d'amor. There's one place where you kind of take it into it. I wonder if you could find a color change. To what are you thinking at that point?
The first is about Figaro, and the second is about Susanna to me. Un ben che in van desio ei posseder dovrà.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about betrayal in that line, that very line.
Okay. Could you give us some color that is a little more descriptive of that, so that you are also giving yourself a little more of a journey. We see what's happening to you. This is one place where I just felt like you're kind of sending it all out, same dynamic, same articulation. Any opportunity you have to color and shape and articulate differently based on what you're thinking of the moment will bring more variety, obviously. Yes. Yeah? That's the first place where I kind of feel that happen. Let's go from the top. How about Un ben? A few bars before. Un ben che desio. E
vedrò per man d'amore unito un vile oggetto, in me destò un affetto che per me poi non ha, che per me poi non ha. Vedrò mentre io sospiro, felice un servo mio.
Okay. I want to now move on to your eyes. Do you sense?
Going all over?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you really are. Would you place, what are you thinking of where we just stopped? Wait a minute, where was it? Vedrò mentre io sospiro. So tell everybody what's happening, what's in your thought process at this point.
Well, since I am repeating this, it's hard to find more colors. So when I go with what is on the orchestra, which is a forte piano.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of convincing myself, like, am I really gonna say this? Am I allowing this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not convinced since I said it the first time. So this time it's a little bit more confusing.
So yeah, maybe really working hard to convince yourself. Would you just choose somebody, whether if you're thinking about Susanna, whatever you're thinking about in that particular moment, would you please just send it to one spot just as an exercise? Okay. Where's a good place to start? Also, one thing that's improved that I was going to talk to you about is just tuning at cadences. Sometimes I felt with your anger that you were kind of throwing things around. The tuning, you cadence and you set the key, and it would not be always clear. But now I feel like that's kind of been cleaned up a little bit, interestingly. So let's go from. Maybe. How about just from E possedere dovrà?
Ei possedere dovrà, vedrò per mando amore. Ton figlio oggetto, chi ne me destò un affetto, che per me poi non ha, che per me poi non ha. Vedrò, mentre io sospiro, felice un servo mio, vedrò che in ben ch'io desio, ei possedere dovrà. Vedrò per man d'amore unito un vile oggetto, chi da me destò un affetto, che per me poi non ha, che per me poi non ha. Vedrò, 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 vedrò. Ah no, lasciarti in pace, non vo, sto contento.
Good. Yeah, no, I find that more intense and believable, and I'm drawn in more. I've heard a few applauders, and I think they agree. If, once you become a little more comfortable with that idea of visual intensity, you can actually use your body more. It doesn't mean you can't. It was great to get away from the eyes darting about. So, into the Allegro assai. I wonder if we can find more variation of expression and color. So, this, of course, ends very strongly, but your first, as is often the case, your dynamics are found in the orchestra.
They are,
Yeah? So piano, forte, piano, forte, piano, forte. Not always do we mimic those, but I think that it gives you an opportunity to change your color. And it's a key change as well. So all of these ideas of routes to more variation in your character. Yeah? How about vedrò, 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 the last one. You can stick with that idea.
I like it.
The exercise I felt was helpful in the moment to get you aware of how much you're darting around. But let's now focus a bit more on variety of color.
Okay.
So you're going to find that through the specifics of what you're saying, and of course with all of the information we have in the orchestra part, which is up and down. Okay.
Vedrò, Ah no, lasciarti in pace, non fu questo contento. Tu non nascesti audace. Tu non...
I would save a little bit the first time. Tu non lasci- Yeah. It's you're singing, I would say fortissimo at the moment.
I know.
Yeah, it's marked piano. So, I mean, that's just, and again, you don't have to mimic exactly what's written here, but it's a guide to help you bring more color to the character. Yeah. And then you have the forte. Yeah. So, do you want to hold the music at all, or you feel like you know those? You think you know those places, or have you sung this so many times that you've gotten away from it? Maybe it is. Okay, and don't worry about looking down occasionally to find that. Okay, same place.
Yes. Vedrò, 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 vedrò. Ah no, lasciarti in pace, non fu questo contento. Tu non nascesti
That's much better. I think that's much more interesting. Keep the thought going, even though there are these rests. Yeah?
I'm now probably
Yeah, you are, but that's good. It's hard, a lot of things going on. Okay, once again.
A non lasciarti in pace, non fu questo contento. Tu non nascesti audace, tu non nascesti audace, per dare a me tormento, e forse ancor per ridere di mia infelicità. C'ha la speranza sola delle vendette mie, quest'anima consola, e giubilar mi fa. Ah, che lasciarti in pace non fu questo contento. Tu non nascesti audace per ridare a me tormento, e forse ancor per ridere di mia infelicità. C'ha la speranza sola delle vendette mie, quest'anima consola, e giubilar mi fa, e giubilar mi fa, e
I just want to reiterate that the more focused you were, the more interested we are to follow you, and the more capable we are, because we see more of what you're thinking than if you're moving around. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Marie Sofie, welcome. Nice to see you. You can just get right into it, or any introduction you'd like, go right ahead.
Oh, I think we'll let the music speak.
All right.
by being bright and cheerful. Pearls and ruby rings. How can worldly things can take the place of honor lost? Can they compensate for my fallen state? Purchased as they were at such an awful cost. Bracelets, lavaliers, can they dry my tears? Can they blind my eyes to shame? Can the brightest brooch shield me from reproach? Can the purest diamond purify my name? And yet, of course, these trinkets are endearing. I'm also glad my sapphire is a star. I rather like a 20-carat earring. If I'm not pure, at least my jewels are. Enough. I'll take their diamond necklace and show my noble stuff by being gay and reckless.
Thank you. Fun, huh?
Yeah.
Have you ever done the role or performed it?
Never. But
Okay.
I would like to do it because she's crazy, and I like to find the natural in her, like the true feeling. And sometimes I have the feeling with arias like these that are so much fun. Sometimes it's hard to find that little bit what does she really feel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to hope that I make that more, make that easier for you.
Oh,
To I hope I have some ideas.
Yes.
The fun in the piece is all. It's an expression of just where you are actually in the moment. That you don't have to attach anything to it.
Yes.
I think my overall impression is less for you to physically to do less and to sing more.
Yeah.
So let's work on that.
Yes.
All right? Good. All of the musical gestures are true to what you're feeling in the moment. So any contrary expression on your face, contrary to the musical expression, works against the piece. So you want to
play with that, but sometimes it didn't work, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I think I know what you're going for, in that she is in and out, and she goes back and forth.
Yes.
It's almost like a comic take on the Gounod Jewel song.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So it's all very real. So let's talk through it. And I just want to hear more of you, because this sounds like it's pretty easy for you to sing. And so sometimes the balance was tricky for you, but I don't know if that was because you weren't singing as fully as you might, or if just Kirill will learn the spots to maybe keep it down. But I have a feeling that because you have such a strong desire to express so much, and you're maybe making her more complicated than she is, you know? She's very simple.
Yeah.
Extremely simple. And it's all in here. It's so much fun. All right. Let's start from the top.
Yeah.
So this is not really music theater, but it's on its way. And certainly Bernstein wrote lots of fabulous musicals. But it is sung more, I guess, operatically, you know, by most of the characters. However, I think one thing that we can take from the style of the musicals that is always true here is that the beginning of an important word is the most natural place to put weight. So for instance, glitter and be gay. You want to be sure to arrive on gay, and the loudest moment of that note is the beginning of it.
Yes.
So there's no mezzo di voce or any kind of hairpin.
Yes.
There's no glitter and be gay or anything like that. So it's always, you land with the most strength at the beginning of those important words that often have length.
Yeah.
That's the part I play. And then a natural kind of decay, but always singing on your breath. You know? Kind of just a natural tapering, if you want.
Yeah.
But never crescendo into the end of the note.
Okay.
Here I am in Paris, France, forced to bend my soul to a sordid role. These pitches to a sordid role. You are guiding these accidentals, so it's important that all those pitches are there right in tune. That was the only one that I felt was not, I didn't hear every one of those pitches clearly. Things like, here I droop my wings. You know, these gestures are the drooping of the wings, right?
Yeah.
So allow a kind of natural portamento of drooping wings, as opposed to you don't have to do anything to it. Yeah? Because you've got all of this. Yeah. Nothing, here another place with these accidentals, but we need to hear every word. Nothing can assuage. And we want to hear you arrive and understand that word, assuage.
Yeah, I caught
tricky
that.
word, yeah. Let's go from the top and play with these things. There's some other like funny, dramatic, descending intervals that I think you can infuse with the meaning of the word you're singing at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
What would you suggest for the beginning of this? Because I've been experimenting with many different interpretations, and because it says piano, I thought, okay, maybe it's a bit held back. Should it be, or?
Well, I think it's a color. You know, I think of dynamics always as a color guide as opposed to volume guide.
Yes.
So we want to hear core U.
Okay.
And that color, I think, is just really, she's very sad and distraught.
So she's not a show pony yet?
No.
Good, okay.
And I mean, I know why you say show pony, but if you can maybe think of that differently, maybe think of her as just sincerely confused. So that when you have joy for all of these beautiful trinkets, oh my gosh, they're so gorgeous, that you really truly believe that, and you're really truly confused about what you should do because you like them so much, you know, that it's true. So that you never are feeling you have to attach something. And show pony to me, just I worry a little bit about that direction.
Yeah,
because then it wouldn't be true to her.
But so it's more that she has a little bit of ADHD. So she's there in every moment, but sometimes she...
I think she has two things going on.
Yeah.
These are just two. And I think she may feel guilt, a little guilt, but I wouldn't maybe make it more complicated than that.
Good.
Okay. And to help, if you want to help yourself, because I feel the sound is a little bit caught in a small space, just really allow yourself to sing fully enough so that you can release your jaw.
Yeah.
Glitter and be gay, gay, gay. Use that G. That's the part I play. Use initial consonants and initial double consonants expressively to kind of find your voice.
Okay.
Okay.
Glitter and be gay, that's the part I play. Here I am in Paris, France.
Yes, that's beautiful. Now I hear you. Okay? So don't let that piano make you feel like you have to keep it in a tight spot. Okay? Beautiful. Why do we care that you say, here I am in Paris, France?
Why does the audience feel?
Why should we care? How are you going to sing that so that we care where you are?
Yeah, okay, I see. I mean, for her it's a foreign country, so she's somewhere where she feels...
And it happens to be one of the most beautiful, amazing cities in the world. So I don't know, I've only sung this once in my life, but I've imagined and I have heard it done lots of different ways, and you find your own way. But she's constant, I think from the beginning of this scene, she's already feeling a bit of guilt. Like how is she going to be able to be okay with all of these beautiful things that she really, really likes? So here I am in almost like she's making fun of Paris, France, or something. Here I am in Paris, France. Well, big whoop-de-doo, you know. I think, or it could be exaggerated another way. Here I am in Paris, France. But I think the reason the line is in there is that I am I am kind of enslaved and boxed in, but in the most magnificent place ever. I love Paris, So you have to convince yourself sort of the opposite in this story because you're apparently so sad.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
the city's important.
Glitter and be gay, that's the part I play. Here I am in Paris, France, forced to bend my soul.
Yeah, you can.
yes.
Yeah, it's just riding a little high too,
Yes,
and to
yes.
forced to bend my soul, and you've got the dissonance. And if it rides high, you can't have as much fun with the
Okay.
dissonance in the
Yes,
orchestra.
yes.
Okay. Right there,
Should we go
forced.
from there?
Yes.
Forced to bend my soul to a sordid role, victimized by bitter circumstance. Alas, for me had I remained beside my lady mother, my virtue had remained unstained until my maiden hand was gained by some grand duke or other.
The rhyming scheme is fabulous. So, in a lot of pieces, we need to be aware. We need to be the architects of that rhyme.
Yes.
Guide the audience's ear, the listener's ear. So, this, alas for me, had I remained beside my lady mother, my virtue had remained unstained until my maiden hand was gained by some grand duke or other. So other rhymes with mother, but we have to have you guiding
Yes.
all of these.
Yes,
So
yes.
enjoy unstained and remained.
Yes.
Have fun
Okay.
with this spectacular book, the lyrics. From, yes.
Alas for me, had I remained beside my lady mother, my virtue had remained unstained until my maiden hand was gained by some grand duke or other. Ah, 'twas not to be, harsh necessity.
Yes, you have such a lovely, clear sound. Play more with the orchestra. You sing, ah, 'twas not to be. Listen to them. Da da dee da dum. Harsh necessity. Da da dee da dum. Brought me to this gilded. Yeah, I get the sense sometimes that when I'm still not completely satisfied with these long notes, that to my ear don't live naturally.
Yes.
You're kind of,
try
you
to
know what I
do
mean?
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, just land on them and sing them beautifully, but listen to the orchestra underneath you.
Okay.
Mhm.
Was
Okay.
it to be?
Yes.
Ah, 'twas not to be, harsh necessity brought me to this gilded cage.
I'm sorry being so picky, but I feel you will respond. That's great. brought me to this gilded cage. Find, this is at the lower end. It's very kind of dramatic.
Yes.
Again, you got there by this leap down. You're singing about a gilded cage. I just wanted you to tell me a little bit more, invest a little bit more meaning for that for you.
Yes.
It's just sounds lovely, but the image is not lovely. I want to hear what you think in the color and really enjoy that lower part of your range.
So speaking technically, should I maybe dare to use a little bit more breast because
chest voice? Sorry. Yes, I would play around with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Again, from Art Was Not to Be.
Yes. Art was not to be. Harsh necessity brought me to this gilded cage. Born to higher things, here I drop my wings. Singing over sorrow, nothing can assuage. And yet you say, well,
Very good. You sing this very well.
thank you.
So, nothing can. You've been singing da-dee-da-da in C minor.
Yes.
Nothing can assuage, and yet, of course, the pitch. This is what I don't know if you heard with Clarice. This is one of those instances where a C natural does not equal another C natural.
Yes.
Okay. You bring in the fun because that's what you're thinking about already.
Yes.
Yeah, and yet, your and yet in your mind
It's
is
already
right
started
here,
there. Yes.
right here.
Yes. Yes.
All right. I loved that. Can we hear the C sharp down? And you're going to enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
Just in whatever you imagine these wings that are just deflating.
Yes.
Born to higher things.
Born to higher things, here I drop my wings. Sing.
I want you to do it one more time with a diminuendo. Think about the deflation of your wings that are drooping. Instead of they're just, I don't know, the wings are too vivid or something. It's too strong. Same place, beautiful though. Born to higher things.
Born to higher things, here I drop my wings. Singing over sorrow, nothing can assuage. And yet, of course, I rather like to revel. I have no strong objection to champagne. My wardrobe.
Good. Would you just give me a little more kick for all of the important words?
Yes.
And yet, of course, I rather like to revel, ha ha. I have no strong objection to champagne, ha ha. Really, taste all of the words as they come. Right on the bar of the Allegro molto.
And yet, of course, I rather like to revel. I have no strong objection to champagne. My wardrobe is expensive as the devil. Perhaps it is ignoble to complain. Enough of being basely tearful. I'll show my noble stuff.
give me more kick, articulation.
Yes,
You see
sounds
these
good.
tenuto markings? Yeah, yeah.
Da, da, yes.
Yes. So you've got bum, 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 ba, 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 ba.
Yes.
All written there. See if you can, do you want to look at this for those?
I think I haven't. I think
Okay.
I'm just lazy with that. I think I'm already.
It's mainly at the bottom
Yes.
that you can play a little more. Yeah? Okay, that's good. And anytime we repeat something, it's got to be expressing something slightly different the second time. You need to repeat it. Why? I don't know, you decide. But, you know, this is piano, the first one. Yeah, and that is, it's harder to get that pitch so quickly, but you can do it. I don't know, it seems because the orchestra fills in rather,
Yes.
and you've got higher pitches, I think it's got to be stronger than the first.
Yes.
All right, right at
Yes,
the
that's right.
same place? Okay. Absolutely the idea. I think we're running out of time. Is that correct? I just wanted to leave like a minute or two for questions. But this is the idea, absolutely. And you don't have to see what you're doing now is just singing with more of yourself.
Yes.
You know, and it's fun
It is.
to do that. And don't let these dynamic markings be anything but color shifts and guides, so that you're always singing with your full self. Terrific piece for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And Kirill, thank you once again for everything all week. Thank you. I think I have just 2 minutes or something, but I thought if there were any questions about anything that I've said, you have that opportunity. And there may not be. Then I thank you all for coming. And for all the singing, thanks, Bobby.
Thank you, Dawn.
My pleasure. Thank
you for such an inspiring 2 hours. Dawn, Kirill, and all our wonderful singers, Clarice, Emma, Kevin, and Marie Sofie. Mirjam Helin laulukilpailun oheisohjelma jatkuu seuraavaksi Musiikkitalon terassilla, jossa on parhaillaan alkamassa jazz-konsertti. Siellä esiintyy Siina Suutarinen band ja mukana on myös kilpailun laulajia. Kello 18 päälämpiössä kuullaan Tuuli Lindebergia ja Joel Papinojaa, jotka esittävät suomalaisten nykysäveltäjien lauluja Music Finlandin tilaisuudessa. Ja kello 19 alkaa paljon odotettu ooppera karaoke Musiikkitalon terassilla. Huomenna on viimeinen kilpailupäivä. Silloin kello 18 Musiikkitalon alalämpiössä järjestetään paneelikeskustelu kulttuurin muutosvoimasta. Puheenjohtajana on Suomen kulttuurirahaston toimitusjohtaja Susanna Pettersson ja illalla kello 18.30 kilpailun finaali. Paljon tervetuloa.